Welcome to Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 35. I'm your host, Trashcan Jones.
And I'm Breg.
And I got the episode number right. I'm sorry to step over it, but I'm just mad at myself because every time editing this is just so annoying for me. I have a mini heart attack of like, oh God, am I even editing the right episode? Am I wrong on the numbers? Do I need to fix everything? Stupid. I'm an idiot.
Well, luckily, since you said you always got it right at the end, right? Like, you could just cut it off at the end and be like, welcome to episode 35!
I never ADR it. No, I just leave it in.
Oh, okay.
I could, though, like, reclip it, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nah. I let the mistakes lie, especially after I realized that it's not actually, like, detrimental. It's just me being an idiot. I'm just like, I'm worried for nothing. Thanks, me.
Yeah. Well, maybe we could also just, pre-record all these intros.
Oh, yeah, we could. We could just go, like, 21 Jump Street style and just set, like, all, like, 9 ahead of us.
Yeah, exactly.
Be pretty good.
Those.
I feel like that'd be a lot of work on the back end, too, because then I just have to import every intro and make sure it, like, lined up right, and then maybe shit wouldn't... I don't know. I feel like it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Too much work.
Fair enough.
Just do it live every time. So your car has been absolutely borked this past month.
Yeah.
That sucks.
Really frustrating.
Yeah.
I've been working from home ever since, and I had to go in for something, right? But I haven't been able to.
Right.
Eventually I found out that I could go to any location, not like my particular office.
Oh.
And there's one like 5 blocks away from me.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, I just went over there to a nearly empty building because it's a training facility. And I guess no one's getting trained on a Friday. And logged into the Wi-Fi and got all my shit. So
Cool.
nice little adventure yesterday.
Yeah, not bad. Nice little like thing you actually. Oh yeah, work's actually not too far away. I don't have to stay cooped up.
Yeah. Well, I'm supposed to go there like once a week. I think it'll be nice to have a short commute.
Yeah.
Instead of no commute or full commute. Maybe I'll continue to not use my car going there.
Yeah, especially on the nice days. Why not?
Yeah.
Take a walk.
It was like 0 degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, and now it's like 30 degrees, and I'm like, this shit fucking rules. Like, I gotta break out the shorts.
Yeah,
know?
right. It's crazy how quick we can swing, but yeah, how quick you just like get used to the cold almost. To where like it'll go from like 0 degrees, but feels like -16 to like, oh yeah, now it's just 30 and sunny, and you're like, what is this new world?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was a polar vortex this last time though.
Oh, this last time it was another one?
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they're getting more common.
Damn. I remember the last time we almost like shut down.
Well, yeah, that was also a worse one.
Oh.
You know, that was like -40.
Baby vortex.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so annoying. My car wouldn't start because it got too cold. The battery froze up.
Oh, man.
Just the battery. Like, everything else was fine. Once I got jumped because my dad has, like, a heated garage, his car's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Super annoying, though. I thought my car was, like, absolutely fucked, and then I just got the jump start. Like, no, it's been fine. Just that one day it got way too cold for the battery to work. I'm like, ugh.
That's messed up.
I probably could have started it overnight if I had saw it coming and then, like, made sure it was warm enough, but yeah, I'm a dum-dum.
You could have went into the garage, turned it on, and then, you know, since you want to make sure that it doesn't, like, run out of gas or something, you could have just taken your nap in there.
Yeah, make sure the door's closed so nobody gets in. Yeah, perfect.
Yep.
I see no problem.
You wouldn't have had the issue with starting your car the next day.
No, never again I would have that issue. Well, that is a decent enough segue for another installment of our favorite recurring segment on this podcast, Crimes Breg Did Not Commit.
I didn't do it.
Now, if you're not familiar with this segment, as we climb this social ladder in the podcasting world, there's, you know, an increased chance that we catch some strays of some false accusations out there. You know, who knows what's going to happen in the future. I am someone who likes to plan ahead, and I'm a good friend. So what I like to do is get it on the record that there are crimes that Breg has not committed at all.
Not never.
Not never, not once, never seen it. To start it off, Breg has never set an elementary school on fire with the kids inside. It'd be a horrible thing to do. He's never done that.
Nope.
Why would you even suggest such a thing? Don't ever do it in the future. Don't do it now. Nope. He never desecrated any graves. Never desecrated any corpses before they went into the graves. None of that. None of it. And if we want to double down going back, he never set an elementary school on fire while the kids weren't inside either, just to round that out too.
Okay.
Nothing with elementary schools.
We're leaving an opening there.
Right, yeah. I just wanted to make sure. we're keeping a closed loop. No elementary schools set on fire. You're not an arsonist of any kind. No charges ever stuck for arson because none were ever filed.
Yeah.
Not a single witness was alive to make it to the stand because there weren't any witnesses. You haven't committed any crimes. Not a single one.
And don't look too closely as to why we're specifying elementary school that I didn't burn down.
Well, yeah, it's just, on the list. I got a list of things to make sure, but it's, we're going piece by piece. We can't just
We have
list.
ongoing research
Right,
into this topic, and we still don't know whether or not I burned down a middle school.
Yeah, further interviews will tell. Like I said, it's an ongoing thing. We're going to keep the list updating and growing, making sure that we have all angles, all bases covered. Elementary school, though, completely covered. No burning down of it. Gotta talk to you about some other things, potentially, but...
Not at this time.
Not at this time, because he is an innocent man. Innocent, not guilty, Your Honor, is something you've never had to say because you've never even been to court. He didn't commit a single goddamn crime. Stop asking. Stop saying that he did. Don't ever say that he did. Never, not once.
I think I went to traffic court once.
Oh, shit. All right, so maybe once.
Well, I said guilty.
Oh, okay, so you pled guilty to the crime. Okay, so what was the crime that you did commit? We'll have to start a second
spent.
list. Oh.
I was in high school. I got 2 tickets.
Ooh, you're a dastardly villain.
There was one time. I didn't even get a ticket for this. I was driving home after curfew because me and some friends went to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
We took the metro train down, and then we all took the train back and hopped in. It's like, okay, cool, we're just gonna head home.
Yeah.
There were a bunch of cops at this intersection, right? There was there's 2 on the right side, and then one blocking the left side. It's like, oh shit, there's a bunch of cops, and drove past, and I got pulled over. They're like, did you not see the red light? I was like, no, I did not.
Yeah, no, I did. Focused on the cops. Sorry.
Yeah, there was a bunch of cops, and there was a lot of red lights, actually. I didn't know which one to pay attention to. But
and you believe that?
I blew a red... No, that was just a riff.
I was going to say...
But
you said you didn't get a ticket, though. He let you out with a warning?
I just flew through the intersection, and it was a red light. And I didn't hit anyone. No one was standing in it. It was just I explained, I just saw, a bunch of cops around there, and I ended up, seeing that, and I was just trying to make sure I would pass you guys safely. I didn't see the light. However, they were blocking there was a T intersection, and I was going on the cross.
Oh, so there wouldn't have been cross traffic at all,
Yeah.
Okay.
If anything, I could have treated it as a stop sign, but if I did stop there and then treated it like a stop sign in front of the cops, I feel like then I might get a ticket.
No, I feel like they would have expected that. As soon as you stopped, they probably would have just been like, nah, come on through. They would have waved you through.
Yeah, but if they didn't wave me.
Right, yeah. So that's probably why they were so willing to let you go, because they were probably, had somebody, waiting just to make sure traffic could go through, because that's usually part of securing a scene, at least what it is on TV.
But yeah, just blew a red light directly in front of, 2 patrol cars, and...
Scot-free.
Scot-free.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I was like, sorry, officer. One time, I was driving home from my high school girlfriend's place, and it was 11, and I had just woken up from a nap with my contacts in, and I got pulled over, and they thought I was high or something. It was after curfew.
And you got some red eyes.
Well, they just had me do a breathalyzer, and they're like, why are your eyes red? I'm like, yeah, I slept with my contacts in 5 minutes ago. I'm just going home. But yeah, I wasn't a drunk driver. Apparently, they were only looking for drunk drivers because it was Labor Day weekend.
Yeah, usually they have an increased presence for stuff like that.
So
no drunk driving charges either.
No drunk driving charges.
Add that to the list of crimes he didn't commit. The segment was a long one, but we'll bring it to a wrap there. Yeah. Officially put a bow on it. Crimes he didn't commit. We got arson, desecration of a grave and corpse, and no drunk driving.
But I did
yes, speeding.
Speeding. And to going through
a red light. Right? Yeah. So not the best driver. Add some lists to that.
Hey,
the crimes.
This is high school.
Well, I'm just saying, if you just look at the facts, see all the crimes you didn't commit versus the crimes that you did, that people would look at that and be like, well, he's not an arsonist or a murderer, but
all right, we'll tune in next time we do this segment for when it's traffic edition. We just go over every crime that I did not commit behind the wheel.
Yeah, there you go. Bada bing. And we'll just add that up, too. Edition. So then it's lined up next to it, and they'll be like, well, you did have some traffic crimes, but, it's outweighed. We got to count
at least more than 3.
Right. It's got to outweigh. See, we're building a list. Now we got a strategy to it. I'm not just going down. Smart. That's smart. I couldn't think of too many examples of this. I have two to bring to it, but I love the IPs that just kind of reference each other but aren't like an actual crossover. Like the first example I have is in the Goofy movie when Goofy's telling Max that he's about to go fishing and he's like, "Oh, who are you going with? Donald Duck?" And Donald Duck is nowhere in that movie. Mm-hmm. It's just known that within the Mickey Mouse universe that they're all friends and they know each other. So it's just kind of cool, like, oh yeah, I know Donald Duck. Like, even though you don't see him, you kind of get that connection.
I feel like that's almost like maybe like the bedrock of the MCU.
Right, and just all
like,
those different references to things, like especially the Netflix Marvel ones, where they had like the initial reference to the big event that happened, which was the Avengers movie.
Mm-hmm. And then everyone just talking about it and
talking about post-snap and whatnot.
Yeah, and like they have the things where they bring people together and like shared stories and stuff, but most of the time it's just like references and stuff like that. And then you got your Avengers. Hello,
little cat. Yeah, another one was. Did you ever watch the show or Dexter's Lab or Powerpuff Girls?
Yeah.
So do you remember their? It wasn't really like a Justice League. It was more like a Avengers parody that they had with like Major Glory and Fraggable Kronk.
Super Friends.
It was something like that. It was like the League of Super Friends. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So they had one of that with the Powerpuff Girls, where they just kind of like would always mention that, oh yeah, the superheroes kind of exist. You'd see them in the background, and there was an actual like legit crossover episode where they just like power scale the Powerpuff Girls basically against Marvel heroes. It's really, really funny.
Apparently in Sopranos they have basically in the Sopranos on the TV they have like, I forget the name of the show, I just had it at the tip of my tongue. Let's say Beverly Hills 90210.
Sure.
And then in that show they reference the Sopranos being a show in their like in just talking to each other.
So like Inception with Sopranos?
So which one is the real piece of media? Or is it like this weird mixed universe thing? I should really know what that was, but...
Yeah, I mean, the show that was on in The Sopranos, I suppose, isn't the important part. The fact that the show in The Sopranos referenced The Sopranos as a show also, that's a weird bit of, like, Inception plot.
They could also... Hear me out. None of the stuff happening in The Sopranos is real.
It's all a dream. James Gandolfini's just in a coma.
They're all acting. And the universe that they're acting in is this one.
So
it's a meta thing.
So wait, then it means it's just The Sopranos is as it stands as opposed to not a real separate universe? So
Sopranos is a TV show in this universe.
But it's also a TV show in the Sopranos universe. That's the thing. That's the. My brain hurts from that. I don't know how to think about it.
It was just for psychic damage. I'm gonna look up what these
it was
shows
just
were,
for psychic damage. Yeah, I've never watched The Sopranos. That and Breaking Bad are two like crime shows that I've been told to get into a lot. And the new Penguin show, heard was really good. It was very Sopranos-esque. People said. I like my crime shows.
It was Gilmore Girls.
Oh, okay. And like I said, whether it was 90210 or Gilmore Girls is kind of beside the point. It's just kind of neat. I wonder, so is it like, I wonder if it was planned or if it was like just an episode of Gilmore Girls like that was on around that time, just also happened to mention The Sopranos, and they were like, oh, that's kind of funny. Just make sure you throw that in there. We'll twist some minds. like the people who wrote The Sopranos didn't like plan that for the Gilmore Girls, but since they put it in, they were like, that'd be funny. Let's do it.
Yeah, so my crackpot theory is that they're actually both shows in our universe.
Okay.
And they're making references to each other in our universe.
But what about their universe?
They're in our universe as TV shows. They don't have a universe. They
don't
exist.
So your crackpot theory is just that they're TV shows and they're fiction? It doesn't seem like such a crazy theory. I mean, might be on your side here. Think you might be onto something.
No. It's like a meta thing, you know? Like self-referential.
I don't think I understand other than you're just saying that they're TV shows.
Yeah, that's pretty much. They're acknowledging the fact that they're TV shows.
Okay.
I'm just trying to spin it like it's Everyone in Ed, Ed, and Eddie represents the seven deadly sins.
Ash is really in a coma. He saw Ho-Oh and wished yeah.
Yeah.
All that shit.
They did end Ash's story, though, in the anime.
Really? So
Yeah.
is there a new main character now?
Yeah, I don't know their names, but it's like, it takes place in Gen 9.
Mm-hmm.
And in Gen 9, you're like a student at a school. So it's just like a group of classmates.
Right, so it's going to be more standard anime fare, I assume?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's Pokemon, you know.
Right, but like as opposed to like character structure and whatnot, it's probably going to be like every Motley Crue type thing where everybody's going to have their quirks and whatnot.
Yeah, I don't know if there's like a main person. In the
Right,
show, I haven't watched it.
I assume it's for like a marketability thing. Like most animes, like Power Rangers and things like that was probably the first one. Like everybody has their favorite ranger. Then you look at like Katiako Hitman Reborn, Naruto. Like as there is a main character for a lot of shows like that. One Piece is another one. Knocked over some dang tea. A lot of the animes just have like their whole motley crew of cast, so it's a lot easier to like make merchandise for each character as opposed to just like Ash Ketchum has his hat, but how do you make like merchandise for Brock and Misty and stuff like that kind of thing?
Yeah,
that's a little less traditional.
But with the Power Rangers, like that's just sort of like, so you can have the same toy made 5 times and then you just put different colors of paint.
Yeah,
and you can
as the event, that was what it started
toys.
at, right? And then eventually, or not even eventually, all the Power Rangers had their own unique weapons. So like that was also part of the toy line, is each Power Ranger's weapon, stuff like that. And each Power Ranger, I remember and I didn't have them. My brothers had the original toys, and they handed them down to me. But each Power Ranger had their own like different action, whether it was the Kung Fu kick, the Kung Fu grip, or the Karate chop. Oh. One of them literally had just hand closing things when you Kung Fu
like a little
grip.
button on the back type thing.
Yeah, literally push the button and then they could do the one action.
Okay.
So each one had like their own little bit, even though like it wasn't really related to the show. But as they progressed, they got more
like internals, or maybe like 1 or 2 parts swapped out.
Right.
Keep like the legs the same.
Right, and especially as they got more advanced, like with the Megazord and stuff, it became like a lot more just toys and things to market.
I feel like this also might be part of the appeal of Bionicle.
Oh yeah,
because like you have like most of the internals, like it's the same thing. Maybe you print it in like a different color of plastic or something like that.
Right,
and then you give like a unique mask or something to everyone. And
right.
You just build it like a Lego thing,
I was going to say, I think Bionicle and Lego are the same company. Bionicle, Lego. Yeah, because it's literally like, that's part of their thing. They are. It's part of their thing of like, you can just buy Bionicle sets and it's all the same kind of connector pieces. So you can take the arm off of one and put it on the other and make your own. That was their whole marketability of it.
My friend, when I was young, had one that would kick rocks.
Ooh, was it like a spring-loaded thing or like a same thing like the Power
It's like
Rangers,
a lever
press
thing
button?
where you got like hold it still and then you like switch something, and as you rotate that, I mean they got the gears, right?
Right.
So something through the gears that they have in there, it caused it to do a kicking motion.
That's pretty cool.
Pretty badass, yeah.
I always wanted, and I wondered about the legitimacy of it, the Lego NBA basketball set. Because it was literally like the whole NBA court, and you could have your Lego guys have a Lego basketball that could pass and shoot and different things. It was wild. I wondered how much like it actually worked. Because they showed it in the commercial, obviously, them being able to shoot baskets. But who knows how well that worked, like was easy to do.
Yeah, maybe there's like a little spot you put them on, and then you...
Yeah, they had like little spots they could sit on, and they had like little, almost like the football table games where like everybody has their like zone basically they can sit on, but you can switch out who's going where. So you can almost actually play like tabletop basketball with Lego guys. It was kind of cool. It seemed cool anyway. I never got to play it.
It's also cool with like Legos and stuff like that, and how, reusable all the parts are and stuff like that. Do you know about the cherry blossom set that they put out, where all the leaves on it are actually tiny little frogs in pink?
Oh no, that's cute.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of tiny little frogs in pink, and you put them, everywhere on the tree, and it looks like a cherry blossom. Which is pretty cool. And I'm also sure, I'm pretty sure, that they put out a Sonic Lego set recently. The Shadow the Hedgehog one has a frog just in the center of the head for no apparent reason. Doesn't do anything. It's completely hidden.
Nice. There's hiding frogs everywhere. Pretty funny.
Yeah, it must be their best piece.
Yeah, must like it. Someone must really like frogs.
Mm.
It's like in the, I think it's in the original Xbox. They have the little Master Chief riding the scorpion, like on the motherboard.
Oh,
It's like
cool.
engraved in. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like riding an actual scorpion, so like the scorpion tank in the game. Yeah.
This motherfucker is going through her terrible twos.
Oh, she's getting to be a little infantile, or I guess teenager.
Yeah, it's kind of. I mean, she's been a little bit better about it recently, but she won't never let me cut her nails,
Oh,
and she loves jumping up on me and like
just
digging her nails in.
yeah.
Or like sitting in my chair and she'll come up and she'll just start scratching the back of it, or like climb up to the top of the back, you know,
Right.
and scratch that, and I just take her and I like throw her out of the room, shut the door, and eventually I open the door again. Be like, okay, here's another try.
No, stinky.
Yeah, she's a little stinker. And she definitely like wants attention and engagement, which I get and I try to do more of. Because like I said, I set up like the toys, you know, like she can have like a jingly thing like in the room with her,
Right.
and she can pull on it and it'll react to her and everything, but it's not me doing it.
Right. Just a little stick like stuck in a place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I try to play with her more because of that. She needs the engagement. I was hoping that she'd engage with the other cat, Suzu.
Suzu likes to hide a lot. I
Suzu
assume he's
does like to
out
hide.
a lot more when I'm not here.
Yeah, I mean, they'll run around and stuff like that.
Yeah. You should get her a little cat like punching bag, one of those little speed bags. Just
Yeah,
Probably love that.
use 100% of her energy right there, just like doing that.
Or just get one of those what you call it, those door stops that are like the spring wiggly ones. Seen cats love those. Just
Just install it like not even behind a door.
yeah, just all like 6 inches up on a wall so you could just whack it.
That's not a bad idea. I like that.
And it entertained me as a kid when I got grounded a lot. Just sitting in my room wiggling that thing. Pretty funny noises.
You know, all the ones around here are hard rubber.
Yeah,
things,
but the
not
solid
one rubber.
ones, I guess they make more sense? I feel like the spring ones would like be less, if you slammed the door into it, it'd less like put a hole in the door because it would actually have some give.
Well, I mean, you might put a hole in the wall.
Yeah, that's the thing. Eventually the spring just gives away. So I guess you'd rather have a hole in the door than the wall.
Yeah. Well, in this case, like, I think you could put spring ones in here because I have these like wooden panels that are like, you know, I don't know, 3 feet up off the ground, and that's about the height of the door handles.
Yeah, actually that would work perfect.
I can just whack that.
Maybe that's why they're there. Before door stops were invented.
Ew.
Mhm.
She doesn't even like go that hard with the nails anymore. But goddamn, does it scare me because she does it a little bit, right? She'll hop up and she'll just sink the nails in ever so slightly.
Right.
Freak out.
Make you jump.
I'm also much more confident that it was her that kicked me in the face in the middle of the night like 2 months ago.
Unless someone snuck into your house. Just
Well,
to
it
kick
could have
you.
been the other cat.
Oh.
But I think it was her. I think it makes a lot more sense that it's her.
Yeah. She's probably running around in the night having fun.
And there she goes. That's
Playing-
just a piece of plastic.
Best thing
Came
in the
off of this
world.
thing.
You ever just give her a box? She like boxes?
Yeah, but here's the crazy thing. She needs like new boxes.
Well, she just get bored of the box?
She gets bored of a box. Yeah, you
Fair.
need a new, different box for
Yeah.
her to explore. But it's just like still cardboard, slightly different dimensions, maybe even the same dimensions.
But it smells like her now, and it's boring now.
Yeah.
The smells are probably like big part of it.
I'll put it through the wash.
I don't think that'll work as well as you think. Might ruin your washing machine. Just put a piece of cardboard in there. It's like the opposite of brick in a dryer.
Yeah.
Cardboard in a dryer, and just nothing happens because it's just. Doop, 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 doop.
I love the brick in the dryer videos.
It's so good. I love they just like they spend like 15 minutes letting it get up to speed before they just, and then it all just goes to shit within like 5 seconds. Like it's destroyed.
There's a metaphor there somewhere.
Oh yeah. I feel like that should be like a saying, like, oh, you're just like a brick in the dryer, kind of deal.
Who's the brick and who's the dryer?
I guess dryer would be like life, and you'd be the brick in the metaphor.
We're all just bricks in the dryer.
Ooh, Yeah, or I'll just brick some
Just
big
another
old
brick in the
dryer.
dryer, not in the wall.
Just another brick in the dryer, man. That's a good one. Speaking of sayings, though, I had a thought of the saying. You've heard of, like, something that's the best thing this side of the Mississippi, right?
Yeah, I say it all the time.
Right. So that just implies, like, the other side of the Mississippi has way better shit, right?
No, I mean, it's where you're familiar with, you know. I know I'm on this side of the Mississippi. I've seen plenty of stuff.
To me, it just sounds like, yeah, this is the best thing on this side of the Mississippi, because they went to the other side of the Mississippi and were just like, fuck, what are we doing? God damn, we're definitely not as good as over there, but this side, it's the best we got over here.
Yeah. Well, it could also be like a... I wonder where the term came from, because it could be like an expansion thing, right?
Yeah, I was going to say it was probably more civilized on the eastern part of the Mississippi before the west.
Yeah, I mean, Louisiana Purchase, I'm pretty sure that went up the Mississippi. Like, if that was a dividing line, that's why all the states got that border.
Yeah, makes sense. It was probably something like when it was first, not really a big network of towns established. Like, oh, yeah, this is the best thing this side of the Mississippi, because there's, like, no other towns this side of the Mississippi. It's probably a lot easier to say. Mm-hmm. We're like the third town here, and we're the only one that makes pies. So this is the best pie this side of the Mississippi.
And then if you're on this our side of the Mississippi, like, you're saying it, like, I don't even give a shit about the things on the western side of the Mississippi.
Basically, yeah. 'Cause
Right.
they're just
the
trash.
best thing on this side of the Mississippi is the best thing on either side of the Mississippi.
Right, exactly. Because like, you're already the big dogs. They're just trying to take the piece off and go out that way. Mm-hmm. And I thought about that. Like, it's whenever they say best side of this side of the Mississippi, it's like, what about the other side then? And you just like, yeah, we don't talk about that side. They're assholes.
Yeah.
They have way too much shit, and they just keep flaunting it around.
We should play Oregon Trail again.
That'd be fun. I'd love to do a run of Oregon Trail. Honestly, we should do that tonight. I'd be really down to play.
Yeah. Also, do you have... could you do a crowd control thing with that?
I don't think Oregon Trail is compatible with crowd control. I got to look into like exactly how to make things for crowd control, because there's like different ways of people like doing development for it, because it's open source. It's just like they have a Discord server. The person that made it runs it, I assume. So it's just like a thing. Like if I ask how to make this, someone might be willing to teach me.
No, I could try and help. But then again, I don't like have any idea of what the crowd control things would be. I guess the only thing that's in mind is like you just name people after chatters or something.
Yeah, or like they can take things away from your inventory, like make bandits appear, stuff like that. Like it's all, I assume, just things that plug into the code and just take certain things from it and bring it to the front. Especially something like Oregon Trail, where it's probably very Boolean structured, very binary.
Yeah, but like if the whole thing is like sending them bandits and taking things away from their inventory, that's already just the game.
Right?
Like you take 2 steps and it's like your axle broke. You need 2 wheels to fix it.
And then someone gives you 6 wheels and you're like, oh, sweet. Now we can just keep breaking axles. So then they give you 100 wheels and you're like, great, we'll have wheels forever. And then they also just send an axle brake. So you just keep breaking your wheel every time. That'd be pretty great. But either way, I'd need like someone on the crowd control development side to like put that in there so the program could run. Even if I figured out how to do it. It would be fun though. You could do a thing of just like have people vote of like decisions that you make. That's probably the farthest you can go.
Ford the river.
Fording the river, going hunting.
The hunting mini game is actually pretty good.
It's pretty fun
for what it is.
I was gonna say it's pretty fun for just like literally having like all the different terrains that are like bushes that pop up, that each one's different. It makes it pretty unique. I'm surprised it never got like an Atari release. I feel like that could
Too many inputs?
Yeah, well, I mean, it's all just like selecting.
Just menuing.
I was going to say, it's just a menu. You can just doot and select. Because it does do like the keyboard things, like you're using a lot of the keys, but you could easily port that, I feel. Wouldn't be too hard.
Yeah, well, everyone's just going to be named A, because there's no other letters on the Atari.
Again, menu. You could just scroll up and down. They fixed that in the arcades. Not like arcade machines had a whole keyboard on them. You can still input ASS in your high score.
That's true.
My favorite was always poo. My brother would always put it, and I thought it was a hilarious thing, so I always took it. See any high scores out here with poo at the top of the leaderboard? You know that was me. Or just somebody else who thought poo was funny.
Yeah.
It's pretty common.
Anyone else that thought poo was funny enough to put on the leaderboard is me. We are family. We are one.
We are one together in poo. I think I mentioned to you on Discord the other night, but Abbott and Costello like radio plays that are available are wild to listen to because they just have them like front to back advertisements of the 1940s and all, and it's wild to see just like what it was, what like flew for advertising. As one of them was literally just like, oh, we have this, I forget what the guy's name, like Randall McDonald, who was a fighter in the Air Force who managed to complete his mission even though he was wounded and didn't let any of his crewmates know so they weren't stressed. Good job, Randall. For your sacrifice, we're sending 40,000 cigarettes to the boys overseas, courtesy of Camel Cigarettes. And then the whole crowd just like applauds. Very weird 1940s commercials. I guess you're just not used to having like cigarettes advertised that heavily.
Yeah. I mean... We do advertise like prescription drugs still, which I mean, a lot of bad things that come from that. I don't know if I could say worse than cigarettes, but a lot of bad.
I'd say it's a pretty easy argument of worse. I mean, not like immediate damage like cigarette is, but long term wise, I don't know.
No, I'm saying the opposite. Like the prescription drug abuse is a bit more immediate than
I agree.
Cigarettes on an individual person and just like long term, right? Like it just didn't last as long. Like a particular drug being abused did not last as long as just cigarettes. I mean, that's gigantic, right?
Right. It's a whole industry.
Hundreds of years.
Right.
But yeah, wow.
This is Abbott and Costello radio plays. It's pretty cool to listen to, though, especially like the way they do their comedy stylings back and forth. It's a lot looser than you would expect, especially for like something that is rehearsed in different things. But like, I remember one of the ones I watched, like, you know, it's Abbott and Costello. That's their show. They're the stars of it. And there's just this random woman who's like, you know, playing some role, obviously, but Costello gets one of the lines wrong, and the woman scolds him like, "Come on, get the line right, idiot," kind of deal. And then he goes back, kind of laughs, does it again, and I'm like, huh, what a world they live in, where like you come on the Abbott and Costello show and you yell at Costello for getting it wrong.
Yeah, I mean, you just kind of, you're a trained actor too, probably, right?
Yeah, and get professionalism you expect.
So.
There's also a really funny bit where I think it was Abbott was playing like multiple characters, and then like it gets to a point where like a police officer shows up and he's supposed to interrogate, like he plays both himself and his younger cousin, and the police officer is supposed to interrogate the younger cousin, but Abbott's the one playing the police officer. He's just like, "All right, now I'd sit down and interrogate you, but the guy who's supposed to be playing me didn't show up." He's like, "So I'm not doing this many voices," and then they just skip ahead.
That's a good way to handle that.
It's like I forget what the exact...
break the fourth wall, say "fuck you," we don't have a guy here.
Right. I forget what the exact line is. His delivery is like, I wouldn't interview you, but I have too many heads right now. Something like that.
In college, we did it was a gender bent version of Taming of the Shrew, and we had one guy doing all of the different like small roles by wearing different hats.
Nice. Literally wearing different hats. That's awesome.
Yep. And he would, like, if there were multiple of them in a scene, he would hold them in his hands and he'd like swap them out, like,
that's great.
For each individual line. It was really funny.
Have you ever seen the musical A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum?
No.
Nathan Lane was in it on Broadway. I got to do it one summer over a high school. Super
Sounds
fun.
Greek.
It's basically just like a faux pas about all of that. It's supposed to be like the thing that brought it up was they have these they're three extras. They're basically just like the entire extra for the entire play. So they're literally doing the same thing of just switching costumes, like putting on a helmet, now they're soldiers, putting on a tunic, now they're eunuchs, and doing different things. Just like doing little voices. Super fun. I got to be one of the Proteans, was what they were called.
Nice.
Doing all the extra work.
You've also kept on saying Abbott and Costello. It makes me think of Abbott Elementary, a show I've been watching recently.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. It's like a, work comedy. A little bit similar to The Office in, like, filming.
Right, it's got that mockumentary style where they do the talking heads.
Yeah. But...
A lot of comedy can come from that. A lot of easy, like, setups for hard cuts and whatnot.
There's the guy that played Chris, and Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, classic.
I really wish I knew his name, but he's doing a great job in the show.
I love
I'm in, like, season 2. But they're doing a crossover with Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Did they not do that yet?
They did the Abbott episode, but then
there's going to be an
Always Sunny episode.
Like their version of it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm trying to catch up with the show so I can see the crossover.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it, and it seems pretty funny. It seems like they just... it's very out of place for Abbott Elementary in the Always Sunny, which makes it even funnier. They just lean into it.
I saw that apparently at the beginning of the episode, Dennis is like, what, there's cameras here? I did not sign up for this. I'm going to stand on the other side of that camera. It's like the first scene that he's in.
Yeah, he's probably like literally just like, yeah, I'm not going to be in this episode for whatever reason, so this is my excuse to not be here.
Well, I think he really didn't want to be on the camera. Like I feel like it's more Always Sunny to have him have like a specific problem with being on camera.
Right, in a documentary style. Like, I don't want any evidence.
Nope.
Stop it. Well, I think she has called for the end of this episode. This Captain has declared. Thank you for tuning into this episode of Cold Hard Trash, CRT episode 35. If you like what you heard, share it with your friends, share it with your mom, your dad, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your aunt, everybody in your family, and then some. Please.
Share it with your cat.
Yeah, even if they can't like understand it, just hold them in front of it and make them know.
I got a job for you.
So, are you